Good morning. I'm Zach Gearhart, Director of Government Relations. Welcome to the Wichita State University Weekly Briefing. As always, I'm going to start with university kind of news of the day, and then we're going to move into our featured presentation, which is Peter Perna from FirePoint. They just moved into Partnership Building 2, and we look forward to hearing about all the exciting things that are going on there and that will be going on there. So without further ado, I want to move into the news of the day at Wichita State. We're excited at Wichita State. We've been really placing a focus on creating programs and degrees that meet the needs of the Kansas community and prepare students to enter the workforce of the 21st century. You saw that with the BAA and the BAS programs that we talked about a few weeks ago. We talked about the chemical engineering program that we hope to bring to Wichita State. This is the latest effort to really try and meet our strategic enrollment management goals. The neat thing about this is it's kind of, I like to think of it as a grassroots effort for developing a program. Students, faculty, staff can partner together to develop a program that cuts across different colleges, different programs. The winners are going to be judged on by their fellow students, by their fellow faculty. They're going to, if they do win, receive a $5,000 cash reward and probably even more coveted than that, a red permit parking space on Wichita State University's campus. So we're really excited for the innovation behind this. We're really excited for the opportunity for students and faculty to be able to enter this competition. To find out complete details about what you have to do, there's not really a lot of regulation behind it, but to find out complete details, go to wichita.edu/new program award. Next, I want to talk about a couple of campus events. September 28th through the 30th, WSU is going to be kind of having an open house weekend. This is designed for our faculty, our staff, our students, our innovation campus partners, as well as our community partners at large. We're going to be having a lot of different events throughout the weekend. We're going to be having the Shocker Store's grand opening at Brayburn Square. We're also going to be having a Sip and See event, which is going to be a cornhole tournament. It's going to be local artists. It's going to be local bands. All of that is going to be happening over at the Brayburn Square area. At the Radigan Student Center, we're going to be having Cosmic Bowling at Shocker Sports Grill and Lane. I will not be participating in that because it'd be very self-deprecating for me to bowl. But we're looking forward to just kind of having an event on campus throughout that weekend for our parents, our faculty, and our staff to come together, but also to invite community to be a part of it too. Welcome Fest has also been happening this last week. This is a great event that we've been doing the last several years. It highlights, students being back on campus, a new energy on campus, but it's also important because it tells students this is what's available to you on Wichita State University's campus. Yes, you're here to go to school to get a degree, to enter the workforce ultimately, but what do you do while you are a student? So this event really highlights all of the things, whether it's Greek life, whether it's student government, and then it talks about counseling and testing. All of these different things you get highlighted throughout the week, so it's a really important event for our students, and it culminates in kind of a fun clash of the colleges, which we've been doing the last few years, which is a fun rivalry between the different colleges. I think the last couple of years it's been health professions and engineering who have won. I myself am a liberal arts undergrad, so my challenge to Dean Hipsley is to bring home the gold this year. And next I want to talk about kind of a fun article that we saw in the LA Times that highlighted one of our own faculty members as well as several of our students. Professor Donald Blakesley, who is a professor in archaeology, a couple years ago, he found what he believes to be the lost city of Etzanoa in south central Kansas, around the Ark City area, I believe. So this is a really fantastic news story that I encourage people to read because it highlights what our faculty have the capacity to do, not just in the classroom, but also with their research, and bring students out to a real life example of this is what an archaeological site looks like. And he's been doing it for the last couple of years, and I would strongly encourage you to look at that. This, to me, is kind of the culmination of applied learning and applied research. I wanted to talk about another thing that was highlighted in the media, but maybe didn't get as much attention. National Institute for Aviation Research, NIAR, recently signed on to a partnership, and I want to make sure I get this right, AMSTM, which stands for American Society for Testing Materials. ASTM is really the organization that deals with the qualifications, the testing, and the measurement for materials, and they have a long, long history spanning over 100 years, and they've focused on different kinds of materials as they've evolved. They're really the authority on materials testing, and if you look at the partners that they have internationally across the entire globe, businesses, universities, it's really a great partner to sign up with, and we're going to be part of their Additive Manufacturing Center of Excellence. So when I say additive manufacturing, I know what it means because I have to, talk to legislators all day. I have that privilege. But also, for everybody, don't get confused. Really, it's kind of 3D printing is what additive manufacturing is. And Wichita State University and NIAR have a long history with 3D printing. And it got a shot of adrenaline a couple years ago when we opened the Experiential Engineering Building, which, if you haven't been in it, please see. It's 25 labs, many of which focus on 3D printing. It's a partnership between Dassault and Hexagon, which have key partnerships when it comes to 3D printing. So we're very excited for what that does for Wichita State University, how it highlights our research and puts us up against some of the best companies in the world. The center that I just mentioned is signed on by other partners like Auburn University and NASA, so it's something really special that we're looking forward to. The last item that I wanted to talk about before we get into our feature presentation is probably the most important item, which is WSU's strategic partnership with McConnell Air Force Base. Wichita State University is trying to provide quality, affordable, excellent education to our community at Wichita. And for Wichita State University, we recognize McConnell Air Force Base as one of the most critical partners in that endeavor. So we're excited to announce that we have signed an agreement to offer courses at McConnell Air Force Base. Our faculty and students will be going out there on base to learn, and we're very excited for McConnell to have that capability. We're going to be focusing on 7 different programs. The format's going to be 8-week as well as the traditional term. It's going to be general business. It's going to be information technology and management information systems, engineering technology and cybersecurity, psychology, sociology, workplace leadership, and applied learning. So we're very excited for signing that partnership, and we look forward to the education that it provides our community. We have Daniel Delafay here today, as well as Marche Fleming Randall, who are excited. They're kind of the leaders of this endeavor, and we would like very much to recognize them and provide them the opportunity to come up and shake hands and signify this relationship. Thank you both. All right, let's move into the feature topic of the day, which is Peter Perna, Executive Director of FirePoint Innovation Center. As I mentioned, FirePoint just moved into Partnership Building 2, and Peter's here to talk about all the exciting things happening out there. When he's done, he's available to answer questions about FirePoint, and I'll be back up, as always, to talk about everything else that's happening. So thank you.
Good morning. As Zach said, I'm Pete Perna. I'm Executive Director of the FirePoint Innovation Center. And we're a new center at the university, started up last October. And since then, I've been getting a lot of questions that go something like this. FirePoint, what is that? Okay, so we don't have a lot of time this morning, but I'm hoping to give you a broad overview that provides you a better sense of what FirePoint Innovation Center is all about. So FirePoint is, as I said, it's a new center here. It's funded by the Army, and specifically one specific Army laboratory called the Aviation and Missile Research Development and Engineering Center out of Huntsville, Alabama. And our relationship with them is via something called a Partnership Intermediary Agreement. So this is a special agreement. There's only maybe a dozen organizations in the country that have this type of agreement with a DoD laboratory. And now we've got one at Wichita State. So FirePoint is a partnership intermediary with AMERDEC, which is the Aviation and Missile Research Development and Engineering Center. So let me tell you a little bit more about what we do. for the Army. If I can figure out how to work this thing. Okay. So let's frame the problem. Okay, we have some folks from the Air Force here today, so they're probably very familiar with this. But, you know, the world has changed. You know, the era where the U.S. was unrivaled in terms of its strength, prowess, technological advantages, that era is largely over. We now have to compete with peer and near-peer threats, namely China and Russia. The technological gap that the U.S. has enjoyed for many years is now diminished and very small. Technology has gone global, so everybody's got access to cutting-edge technology. So we no longer, the U.S. military, no longer enjoys this sort of unfair advantage on the battlefield that has been provided to it via new technology. So that's fundamentally the big strategic problem that the entire military is facing, and the Army, of course, is concerned about this as well. So what is our mission with the Army? Why are we funded to work with the Army? This particular laboratory, of course, has its own research and development enterprise inside. They've got a set of scientists and engineers who are working on the toughest problems, both to sustain the existing force as well as develop new technology capabilities. And the Army understands that it doesn't have in-house all of the expertise, all of the technology, all of the capabilities that it needs to have access to in order to meet the future threat. So FirePoint, through this special agreement that we have with the Army, is a tool in the toolbox for AMERDEC to reach out and access the best expertise, the best technology, the best capabilities, and bring that to the Army through new collaborations, through new research agreements. So we, FirePoint, are essentially an agent for the Army to go out and find the best capabilities and bring that to the Army to support its S&T enterprise. So we talked a little bit about AMERDEC, the Aviation and Missile Research Development Engineering Center. What is their mission in life? So ultimately, like I said, their purpose is to both sustain the existing force, but also develop new capabilities. So some of these new capabilities include development of the next generation medium-sized helicopter. The Army refers to that as future vertical lift. This is a very high priority for the Army. Next generation tactical unmanned aerial systems, very high priority for the Army. Okay, and the Navy and the Air Force are working these same spaces as well. But what's really cool about what we're doing here at Wichita State University through FirePoint is that the Army has asked us to support them on their highest priority programs, namely Future Vertical Lift and Next Generation Tactical UAS. So we're all about engagement with organizations outside of the Army, set up new collaborations, set up new partnerships. If we find specific technology that the Army wants to have access to, we try to bring that to the Army through various forms of agreement, maybe through partnerships. The Army also develops its own technology in-house to meet its future requirements, but the Army doesn't commercialize anything. So ultimately, the Army is interested in seeing that its technology developed in-house is moved out into the private sector, moved out into industry to be further developed and commercialized, and then spun back in to support Army requirements. So we're involved in that process called technology transfer and transition. And then ultimately, innovate. Help the Army to develop new ways of doing business with potential partners on the outside. So those are the three primary activities that we're engaged in. very quickly mention 3 technology areas that we've been focusing on since last October. One, it has to do with defining the requirements that support the qualification standards for application of multi-core processors, microprocessors in legacy systems as well as in future systems. The science of integrated sustainment, trying to keep aircraft flying, keeping them in the air is a very difficult problem. So perhaps if we're smarter in the development phase for new aircraft, we can actually minimize or mitigate the need for ongoing sustainment costs. So in other words, we can keep the aircraft flying longer if we're smarter about how we build the aircraft in the first place. And then the third area has to do with architecting complex cyber-physical systems. It's basically defining the requirements for new platforms that will get integrated in new aircraft related to software, hardware, and the integration. For example, one of the things that the Army is concerned about is swappability, okay? If we're relying on one particular defense contractor to supply a black box, for example, and then that thing fails, we've got to go back to that one vendor and buy that box probably at an inflated price in order to replace the one that failed. If we can architect future systems in ways that we've increased the swappability and we're not dependent on one particular vendor when a particular black box fails, you know, that again helps keep our aircraft flying and minimizes our future sustainment costs. So we've been working those 3 areas for the Army. We've got some additional funding coming in a couple of weeks that's going to expand our work into 4 new tasks that I can't yet talk about, but we're excited about that as well. So let me finish by addressing the question, well, why is this here? Why is this at Wichita State? I think there's a few reasons for that. One is that we have some incredibly unique capabilities here, largely at NIAR, related to research, development, testing, and evaluation on the kinds of things that the military, and specifically in the case of Firepoint, is interested in, the Army is interested in. So I think that's a part of it. The technical R&D capabilities that we have here are of interest to the Army. The focus of our research aligns with Army interests. We know that in addition to the Army's interest at Wichita State, the Air Force and the Navy are also funding projects here at Wichita State, and those projects also align with Army interests. So there's synergism between what the Army's interested in and the other DoD-related research and development that's happening here at Wichita State. Lastly, and I think this is maybe the most significant, I think most exciting thing about what we're doing is the tie to applied learning. And right now at Firepoint, we have 6 computer science and engineering students working with us to support our work for the Army. We've only got 3.5 professional staff, so we actually have more students than we have professional staff. And it's all about giving these students the opportunity to work in ways that, that give them the opportunity to develop a better understanding of how to serve a customer's needs, how to work in a team setting, and get some real-world experience that can go on their resume and make them more competitive ultimately in the job market. The Army cares a lot about that. All of the military laboratories are very concerned about where their future STEM workforce is going to come from. So a part of the opportunity that we have here at Wichita State is, because we're focused on applied learning, is we can be a significant partner in helping to meet that future need for scientists and engineers, not just in the Army laboratories, but the Navy and Air Force laboratories as well. So I hope that gives you a sufficient overview. Happy to take any questions, and thanks for the opportunity to be here. Yes. Yes, you mean what, so the question is, what kind of qualifications among students? Yeah. So that's a great question. So let me be clear in saying that nothing that we do is classified. We don't work on any secret or classified work. Everything we do is potentially available to the public. Okay? Now, does that answer your question?
Yeah, and then also what are some of the availability of students who are interested in contract or?
Yeah, great question. So we had a booth at the recent career fair, and that's where we recruited 4 additional engineering students to work on the FirePoint team. So 3 of them are over there right now. In going forward, we're going to be interested in recruiting students that have both technical backgrounds, so engineering, let's say, primarily, but also business backgrounds. Because remember, when I talked about collaboration, I'm talking about developing partnerships and moving technology out into industry. And part of being able to move that technology out into industry is marketing that technology to industry. So there's a business component to what we do, as well as a technology component to what we do. And by the way, we just moved into new space a couple of weeks ago, and we're planning on having an open house, kind of a ribbon cutting event at the new space sometime in September. The date's not set, but we'll make sure that you all get an invitation to that. Partnership 2 building, right? Space Force? Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Any other questions? Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you for all those questions. Any questions about the rest of the campus news going on? All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. Again, we're going to have another one of these next Thursday. Please come by, and thank you again.